All right. Well, hey family, I'm here with Mark Gavorski, and as I'm spending time at Homeview and checking out this new beautiful build that's happening here, Mark has just shared such a great perspective on what's been going on in his life in 2020. In the midst of all the chaos, in the midst of a global pandemic, still having a powerful perspective. And so, Mark, could you just share, while everybody else kind of has one perspective, you see things a little bit different?
I agree. I was saying that COVID, it's easy to say it's wrecked my life. Business isn't as good, census is down, expenses are up. I mean, it's costing $15,000 a day to run tests on every one of our employees. I mean, $30,000 a week when we're doing it twice a week. So it's easy to say COVID is wrecking our lives. People are in quarantine, etc. But I just wanted to take the opposite approach. I wanted to share the blessings that God has provided my family. And when you just stop and reflect on counting your blessing one by one, first of all, my twins graduated. In the midst of COVID, they graduated twins from high school.
That's big.
And sent my daughter to Indiana Wesleyan. She's going to be a nurse. She's excited about that nursing program.
Awesome.
And I'm excited about Indiana Wesleyan. It's my second child. And my third child is a senior in high school, and she's committed to IWU as well.
Wow.
So 3 girls going to Indiana Wesleyan is a big blessing in our family.
And that's pretty cheap, right? Indiana Wesleyan.
Yeah. I might need some help.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to keep working for many years. And then my son graduating is going to serve the military and starting his Army National Guard service.
That's awesome.
So that's one big blessing. And then in the midst of all of COVID, my 21-year-old daughter, Hannah, at Indiana Wesleyan, she graduates in 2 weeks, and she got married in July.
Come on,
Matter of fact, got married on Mom and Dad's 28th wedding anniversary during COVID.
That's awesome.
So we had no incidents. There was a beautiful but simple wedding in Gas City, Indiana. So that was a big blessing. And then probably the most trying thing in our life is my father-in-law and my wife, Lori. Her dad just passed away here at Homeview. So in the last 24 months, we lost both Mom and Dad at Homeview. So the blessing of my Homeview staff caring for our parents has been a blessing in itself.
Yeah.
And the Homeview family has come alongside my wife and cared for them until they died. And then upon death, God has just sent so many people into our lives. I mean, He has sent our church family to provide meals for us, to take the stress off. We even had a personal friend that gifted a plot, a cemetery plot. And I refer that back to Jesus was in a borrowed tomb. We didn't have any funeral arrangements, no life insurance, nothing. And somebody said, I got a funeral plot for you. And
Wow.
I'm like, that is the biggest blessing. I mean, it brought tears to my eyes to see God's generosity through His people show up when we really needed it.
Right.
And lastly, with that father-in-law's passing away, we have not paid for his funeral. And a funeral is somewhere $8,000 to $10,000. And I got such a good relationship with the funeral home guys. They said, pay us when you can. We put his house on the market yesterday. One day being on the market, we had 10 showings and 4 offers. So I'm like, God has just come through, and knowing that we're not going to have the stress to worry about how to pay for the funeral expenses. So again, this is just a few of the big stories in our family, but God is there. He comes alongside us. And I mean, even today, with you being here, Brock, I said, hey, can you pray with our employees? We've taken care of one of my favorite CNAs. She's been here with me 13 years at Homeview, and her mom just died here. She was here for only 2 days. Call me and say she's on hospice. I don't know what to do with her.
Yeah.
So we cared for her. We were a blessing to that family. And then it's nice. Thank you for being here. And we just stop what we're doing, pray for people, and just lift their head up. And God calls us to do that for people. So there's just so many blessings, and I encourage you to look for those positive stories instead of looking at 2020 wrecking your lives. There's so many good things still happening that God's involved in.
Golly, man. That's such a good word. And I'll tell you, if you have some of these positive stories, we got to share them. We need to pivot our perspective, and not everything is all bad and gloom and doom. God's still ferociously faithful in the midst of hardship. even when life is hard, God is still good. And it doesn't negate his goodness just because we have to walk through some trials. And so I just want to encourage you today, can you mine the gold out of some of those caves in your life? And some of the best gold comes out of the deepest caves. And so just want to encourage you in the midst of the darkness, in the midst of the hardship, to look for the light and to look for the good. And not only for your own your own self-health, but also for those around you. And so as Mark is saying, he's walking through some hard things even in himself, and yet he's looking for those that he can lift their head, encourage their heart, strengthen their spine, pray over them, blessing people as we walk through the halls. And we have the opportunity to do that every day that we're around our staff. And so, Mark, great job, man. I love coming to Homeview. I love seeing what the home team is doing. Just want to encourage you guys today. What is it that you can do to be the feet and the hands of Jesus everywhere you go? Come on, we can do it. I believe in you. Good word, brother.
Fun times.